Okay. I get
So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome and thank you for coming to celebrate Doris's life. I know your presence here is very important to the family, and they appreciate everybody that's here. So I'm going to invite Deb to come forward and kind of lead things along.
Welcome, everyone. Sorry for the short. On behalf of my dad, my brother Bob, and my sister Barb, and all of our families, I would like to thank you for coming today. We all lead busy lives with lots of things to do and places to go. For you to take the time to be here today, especially on this long holiday weekend, it means a great deal to us. So thank you. We're grateful you're here. Just a little bit about the service. We will have a short service first for about 30 to 35 minutes. We have a bit of a time crunch because the cemetery on a Saturday is only available to accommodate us until 2 p.m. So following the service, we will have the interment, and those that are able will go to the cemetery, and all of you are welcome to go. Thank you. I will remain here at the funeral home to greet you, and following the interment, we will gather in the reception hall at the funeral home for food and refreshments, fellowship, and reminiscing. I hope you'll join us. I'd like to take the time now to recognize and give thanks to a few people who helped make Mom's last few years as pleasant as they could be. First, to my dad, who cared for Mom every day. He would get up early to ensure that things were just so. He got nearly all the meals, did the shopping, looked after the house, both inside and out. He was always there for Mom. Mom could not have continued living in her own home as long as she did, were it not for my dad. Next, my sister Barb. She would come over to help take care of Mom almost every day. She arranged for caregivers, brought things Mom might need. She looked after her medications and her finances. She always made sure that things were going well for Mom and Dad. Dad would often call Bob to come over. At whatever time of day or night, Bob would come. Thanks for being there, Bob. I would also like to give a special thanks to my sister-in-law, Anne. She went above and beyond in looking after Mom and caring for her, whether it was making meals, bathing Mom, or just being there so Dad could attend an appointment. Thanks, Anne. Mom really appreciated your help, as did Dad. And last but not least, Mom's granddaughter, Kristen. She was often on relief duty when Bob or Barb were away, or when at the last minute, a personal support worker would not be able to come. Thanks, Chris. In Mom's era, no funeral would be proper or complete without a Bible reading, one or two hymns, and a prayer. One of Mom's favorite hymns, and a favorite of her dad's, was the Old Rugged Cross. It seems fitting that we will sing this hymn on the most holy weekend of the Christian calendar, when Jesus died for humanity and conquered death. You have with you the words, and we invite you to sing along if you can. I will start us off. Please stand if you are able, and let Mom hear us all. I'm just waiting for the music.
Want to do an acapella? No acapella today.
Well, we can do that.
Borrow.
He's gonna start again. Sorry about that.
On hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. To that old rugged cross I will ever be true. Its shame and reproach gladly bear. And he'll call me someday to my home far away, where his glory forever I'll share. So I cherish the old road. Yeah, I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown.
Please be seated. I would like to call on Mom's grandson, Jim Bolden, to read to us from the book of Ecclesiastes. Jim?
A time for everything. There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace.
Thanks, Jim. Mom was born at home on the farm in North Dorchester. Her parents were James and Jessie Alberta Bowyer. Grandma went by Bertie to those who knew her well. Mom and Aunt Grace were fast friends growing up. They even slept in the same bed until Mom left home to be married. They were two happy little girls laughing and playing with kittens and their dog named Ted. Dad spoke of Mom, Grace, and Jack playing at the creek at the back of their property. Jack was Mom's younger brother, And like Mom, he too passed away on April 1st. Mom and Dad became a couple when Mom was in her late teens. They were married in 1950 and lived in a room in London, in my husband Aunt Con's home. Now that's a small world. Mom and Dad built their first home on the town line just west of Byron, London. Bob and I grew up in that house and had a wonderful childhood. Mom and Dad had Diane in 1962, but Diane was very ill at an early age and died in 1965 from complications of meningitis. Barb was born in 1967, a welcome arrival for both Mom and Dad. Barb, the baby of the family. Gotta love her. Mom, Dad, Bob, and Barb moved to Essex County in the fall of 1973. I stayed back as I was in nursing school in London at that time. Mom enjoyed working with the elderly. She helped out when we were youngsters at Grandma's nursing home in Fingal, doing the ladies' hair, and worked part-time nights as a nurse's aide at Delaware Nursing Home. Mom always made sure we had nice clothes and we looked awesome in our homemade skirts, dresses, Halloween costumes, and dance outfits. Excuse me. Mom took us to dance classes and piano lessons, and she even made my wedding dress. Mom was best known for her baking and meal preparations. She cooked a mean pot roast, Yorkshire pudding, and of course, a yummy chocolate cake or 4-inch high lemon meringue pie. Now who's gonna make the meringue, Mom? Mom always made Rob, Barb's husband, coconut cream pie, butter tarts for company, and of course her famous pink squares. Every Christmas, we all got a tray of her squares and melting moment shortbread cookies. Rumor has it that she even made her favorite son a special lot of pink squares to freeze. Mom often had words of wisdom for us. I hope you're putting some of that money away for a rainy day. And make sure you always wear good, clean underwear in case you get in a car accident. Never say never. And Mom always said to keep $100 in your wallet, just in case. Mom loved it when we visited. She would show us her garden and be so pleased if we brought her fresh tomatoes or flowers. Mom loved tomato sandwiches. Mom and Dad had an amazingly long life together, more than 72 years. They enjoyed road trips, camping, car races at Delaware on Friday nights, Moseport, and Watkins Glen, New York. In later years, Mom and Dad enjoyed building homes. Dad enjoyed the physical construction and Mom the planning and choosing of all the flooring, fixtures, and layout. They were quite a team. Over the years, they built numerous houses and had a lot of enjoyment finding just that perfect lot to start their next project. Mom and Dad were together in their home in Essex on Gales Drive for the past 10 years. They did not build this home, but enjoyed making it their own, with nice trees, gardens, bird feeders, and of course a wooden tool shed to keep all the necessary tools. Mom also made the window coverings. Mom was an amazing seamstress and enjoyed knitting and crocheting. As recently as 5 or 6 years ago, Mom made herself a pair of jeans. She made ahead a few baby things, and little Finley, he's the last grandson so far, he even had a sweater set made by great-grandma because Mom thought to make them ahead. So that was really something. Mom taught us to sew, to knit, to crochet, clean, and how to be a good mom. Mom and I were not always close as we lived quite a ways away, but in these last 3 years, we became very close, which was a blessing for me. At the last of Mom's life, she was unable to walk and was confined to her recliner chair and bed, but she remained as cheerful and as pleasant as possible. She loved it when her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren came to visit, and always was interested in seeing new photos and hearing about our latest projects. Dad made Mom just what she wanted to eat, and they enjoyed coffee and a cookie and reminiscing and remembering all their fun adventures. Mom will be remembered as a wonderful wife, mom, grandma, great-grandma, and mom-in-law. She had an extremely green thumb and loved flowers and plants and making she and Dad nice meals. There is no doubt we will miss you, Mom, but we are so happy for you that you died peacefully, without pain, and with all of us at your side. See you on the other side, Mom. We love you. Dad, Bob, Barb, and Debs. Now I'd like to call on my son, Mom's grandson, Matthew Hartney, to say a few words.
Hi, everybody. This is harder than I thought.
Was it?
Okay. I'm not gonna look at any of you. I won't cry. I just wanted to say a couple of things about what my grandma meant to me. Mom's already said a lot of the things,
Sorry.
but Grandma and Papa probably don't know exactly how much or in what ways they influenced all of our lives. But speaking for myself in particular, all of those things that Mom said that Grandma was good at, I ended up being good at. She taught me to bake and how to roast. She taught me how to garden, how to take care of things and nurture them, watch them grow. And I became a chef. And I drove my first nail through a 2x4 with my papa, one of the houses, when I was probably this tall. And I helped them plan them and helped Grandma pick out kitchens. And then later I became an architect as well. And that's her, because of you. And I also, just as a side note, I can fall asleep on any couch at any time, and that is also something I got from my grandma. The last couple of years have been really tough because Grandma's not been in good health, but also some kind of global health crisis kept us all away from each other. But we got a chance to talk on the phone a lot more and write letters. And I didn't get to see her in the last couple of years. Glad to be here now. Thank you all.
Our final hymn is another one of Mom's favorites, How Great Thou Art. So if you don't mind standing again, if you're able. And when this hymn is finished, we will recite the Lord's Prayer. And then we'll be dismissed. We'll wait for our cue again for the music.
Oh Lord my God, when I am lost and wander, consider all the works thy hands have made. I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. how great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. When through the woods and forest glades I wander, and hear the birds sing sweetly in the trees. When I look down from lofty mountain grandeur and see the blue and feel the gentle breeze, then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And when I think of God, His Son, was sent Him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, He bled and died to take away my sin. And sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art.
Now we'll recite the Lord's Prayer, and then we'll be free to go to the cemetery if you're able. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Please be seated.
Thank you, Deb, for coming. And it's very difficult to come and do a funeral service for your own mother, so thank you for all your kind words and then the time you put into planning this today. And thank you to the kids who came up and spoke. Again, it's very difficult. So just on behalf of the family, in a few moments, we're going to be making our way to Green Hill Cemetery in Kingsville. Those of you who are joining us in procession, please drive with your four-way flashers on and stay as close as comfortable to the car in front of you. We may be going through some intersections that have red lights or stop lights or stop signs. Just go through those with caution as you are going through them. Most people recognize it's a funeral procession and will yield the right way, but just realize that you are at risk. Following the burial at the Green Hill, everybody's invited to come back here where a meal's been prepared. There's lots and lots of homemade pies, I'm guessing by Doris's super not so secret recipes. So please come back and join the family. Those of you who aren't able to go to the cemetery, you're welcome to stay and just await the family to come back. So at this time, I'm just going to invite, just starting maybe at the back room, if you want to make your way to your vehicles. We're just going to afford the immediate family some private time before we make our way to the cemetery. So if you, the friends and more extended family, want to make your way to your vehicles and just wait for us for a few moments, we'll join you outside pretty shortly. Thank you.